There are specific grinders that are used for grinding coffee beans. You can't take coffee beans, put it in your home blender and blend it, or your home mixer and grind it. Alright? Each manual brew will have a different grind size. So this one would require something like a medium fine grind size. Why? Because this completely depends on gravity. If it's too coarse, the water will just seep through very quickly and your coffee will get under extracted. If it's too fine, because there is no external pressure and it's completely dependent on gravity, it will drop very slowly and the coffee will get over extracted. It's going to give you a burnt coffee. Under extracted coffee will give you flavors that will be similar to lime and salt. Okay, that's what's extracted out of the coffee beans first. So if you're brewing a perfect cup over what we call as ideal extraction, what happens is, as your coffee starts to extract, the salts and the citrus flavors, the acidic flavors drop into your cup. Then as the coffee is getting brewed, the sugars start to get extracted. That's what creates a balanced cup. If you continue to brew it, the coffee will get burnt, the burnt flavor will drop into your cup. Burnt flavor is so overpowering that it masks all the other flavors. Alright? So it's very important, one, to get the proper grind size. Alright? Second is the proportion. The amount of water to the amount of coffee that you're going to use. Too much of water, the coffee is going to taste very light.
So is there any standard ratio of that?
Yes, there are ratios. So the pour over is a ratio of somewhere around 1:15 to 1:16. Okay? It also depends on your recipe. These are standard ratios, but you can vary the ratios depending on the recipe you want to create. Okay? Moving forward, the water is also a very important aspect of brewing coffee, especially in a place like Bangalore. You get your water from Kaveri River, right? Most of the water comes from there. Being a river, the water is heavy, more on metals, right? That would give your coffee a metallic taste. So it's very important to pass your water to an RO system. The RO water is measured by a meter called as a TDS meter. It should be anywhere between 50 to 100. The reading should come anywhere between 50 to 100. And that is a good water to use for brewing your coffee. The last is freshness. Every time you brew a coffee, it's important to freshly grind your coffee. It should give you a better coffee experience. The more you keep coffee exposed to sunlight, moisture and air, the coffee starts to degrade. Alright? You grind coffee and you keep it for a longer time, again the aromas get released out of the coffee and it starts to lose its intensity. So it's very important to actually have your coffee ground as soon, just before you're going to brew your coffee. Now, you can also grind it and keep it in an airtight container, but there is a shelf life for that as well. It's about 4 to 6 hours. Post that you can't use it. Alright? But we stick to using freshly ground coffee at the stove. That's what we do. Okay? So the pour over, or known as the V60, which because it's in a V shape at a 60-degree angle, was invented by a German lady called Merita Benz. She decided to brew so she used to brew a coffee in her percolator, or which is more commonly known as a mocha pot. A mocha pot gives you a very strong coffee. There is no filtration in that, and all the coffee oils are extracted, and it gives you a very intense coffee. Right? So she didn't like that coffee very much. She noticed that her son was playing with a blotting paper, a litmus paper, and she decided to try using that to filter the oils. And when she used that method, filtered her coffee out, she got a more clean cup of coffee, a more clear cup of coffee, something that was less intense. And that is how the V60 was born. She further worked on the design and created the V60. Today, V60 is one of the most popular brewing methods for any entry-level coffee drinker because it's a light coffee. Right? And when I say light, it's not about the flavor, it's about the intensity. The coffee intensity is basically determined by the amount of coffee oils, or in coffee terms we call it the coffee body. The more the oils, the more heavy bodied coffee. Lesser oils, lighter bodied coffee. So a heavy bodied coffee will give you a more intense flavor, and a lighter bodied coffee will give you a less intense flavor coffee. Alright? So to brew that, we use something known as this, which is a V60 filter paper. Alright, you get two types of filter papers. One is this white color one and one is the brown color one. It's basically bleached and unbleached. It's a preference. Some people may prefer to use this one, some people may prefer to use a more natural one, which is a brown filter paper. Alright, it makes no difference at the end with the end product. We're going to use this to filter out the coffee oils, and that's why because of this you're going to get a more clean and clear cup of coffee with less coffee oils, giving you a less intense coffee. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this, put it over here. I have water here which has been heated to a temperature of 92 degrees. Alright? Not more, just 92 degrees, because water at boiling temperature, since we are using ground coffee, is going to burn it very quickly. Alright? And you're not going to get a good tasting coffee, you're just going to get a burnt coffee. I'm just passing water to this filter because being paper is probably treated with chemicals, and you don't want that chemical or that papery taste to get into your coffee. Right? So that's done. Ratio. I'm going to add some amount of coffee to my filter paper, to the V60. I'm just going to level it out so that it's evenly extracted. God's given me two hands, I'm going to use both my hands. A lot of people try to do it in one hand and they make a mess out of it. Alright, so I'm going to use both my hands. What it's going to do is it's going to help me create an even flow. I'll have more control over my kettle. This is a gooseneck kettle. Alright, what I'm trying to do here is create a pour that is similar to a pencil point. I'll have to make sure that the flow is a constant flow, and I'm going to wet my coffee in a circular motion. Okay, I'm not going to go front, back, zigzag, in a circular motion. Alright, that is the proper brewing method. And why? Because it will cover more area in a quicker span of time. Alright, so my aim is to wet the coffee in an even flow of water. Alright, so I'll start. Circular motion in an even flow. I wetted the coffee now. Alright, now, so since you're over here, do you see some gas and some bubbles coming out? Alright, so basically what this is, there's a lot of carbon dioxide trapped in your coffee beans. At the time of roasting, as soon as the coffee is roasted, it's not good to be consumed. So freshness has to wait for some time. We have to allow the coffee to degas for about 5 days immediately after roasting, and only after the 5th day you can start to consume the coffee. Alright? That's because the carbon dioxide gives your coffee an acidic taste. Alright? It has a very acidic taste. So it's not going to taste very good. Now I've let the coffee let the water wet the coffee and release the carbon dioxide after it. Continue to pour the remaining water. Circular motion, control speed. If I pour it too fast, it's not going to get enough of time to brew, and it's just going to trickle down, and I'm going to get an under-extracted coffee. If I pour too slow, it's going to take a long time to brew, which will result in the coffee getting burnt as it's getting brewed. So I've taken 19 grams of coffee and I'm adding 270 grams of water. Now, you'll ask me why grams? It's supposed to be ml, right? Water. But to keep a standard measurement of unit of measurement, sorry, we are going to do everything on the weight scale. We are not going to measure in ml. Alright, so everything goes in grams. This is the weight scale here. just about picking your cup, sipping it, and oh, I'm getting flavors of. Right? It's not about that. It's 4 steps of coffee tasting, or 3 steps.